Hi, I'm Nobi Pyle.
Hi, Nobi.
I am an acupuncturist and a trainer. I sound like somewhere from exotic country, but I practice in Tucson, Arizona. And I bring NADA programs to Federal Halfway House. It is a facility that's contracted by Bureau of Prison to house men and women who are finishing their latter sentences in there, or some people who have violated the condition of parole. So some of them have a job in the community. So we go there at their dinner time around 6 o'clock. First, we go to the men's rec room and then putting the needles in, and then go to the women's rec room. We have about 10 people each week. The men's rec room has a restriction. They are not allowed to turn off any lights. So we always have bright lights. And there's also a TV. And most of the people who participate in NADA program, they know they like quiet and no TV. But if there is a significant athletic event, TV stays on, and there are some people who are not participating in NADA people come into the room and watch TV without sound. But those people do come back next week to receive NADA. And we go to the women's rec room. It's a completely different story there. They are able to turn off the lights, and they volunteer their iPhone for soothing music. So after a while, after we established the program there, the administrator invited us to present and do a demo on their board meeting. So we said, oh, sure. So we did the presentation and then worked on the staff. And oh, by the way, there are some staff and counselors who comes to the sessions in the rec room. But we were able to reach more people in the board meeting. And there was in attendance warden who is in charge of 3 federal prisons. And she approached us to bring NADA to corrections officers. So she was very concerned about suicide rates on corrections officers. I believe they're like 4 times more frequent occurring than the general population. So I said, sure. And in a few months later, we were in one of the federal prison. They had something called diversity fair. It looked like a wellness fair. There was a booth for yoga, fitness programs, and we were able to get a small room, private room. So there were about 8 chairs in that room, so it is small. They provided us with the soothing music and aromatherapy. We weren't sure how many people would show up. We had a slow start at 8 a.m. and then before you know it, the room was full. And there were so many people waiting to come in, and they were chatting away while they're waiting. And I overheard a person talking about having a heart attack last week and back to work this week. Anyway, between 8 and noontime, we provided about 45 treatments, and it was very well received. We really wanted to do more continuously. It was a one-off event, but with the COVID, we have not started anything for the corrections officers. But now, thanks to those people who worked on Arizona NADA advocacy communities, we were able to change the law, acupuncture law in Arizona, so we can train more people in correction setting, not only the behavioral health setting. We are able to train corrections officers, and then hope to do something like Linda's doing in Denmark. Train corrections officers to treat people who are incarcerated. Anyway, in my experience, going to a federal halfway house is a lot more difficult than going to a state halfway house or local jails. I have experience before NADA. I have experience in teaching sewing to people in halfway houses. And in state settings, I was able to bring in sewing needles, scissors, some object that might not be considered safe, no problem. When we proposed to do NADA in federal halfway houses, the proposal had to be approved by Washington, so it took about a few months. And then after we got approval, I was fingerprinted every fiscal year, and they even asked my citizenship. And I carry my equipment in a see-through bags that I'm not carrying anything dangerous. But anyway, I was lucky without help from my husband, who started Tucson, Second Chance Tucson, while he was on a federal bench. He was able to connect NADA to the corrections facilities. So without that might have been a little difficult. And for some of you who are trying to get into correction system, I would start going to the meetings and getting to know people, advocacy communities, re-entry communities, and they usually call second chance, fresh start, something like that, and have them insist that we go there. It's much easier to sell than us presenting, oh, this is good for you. Anyway, I like to plug in our next event locally. For some of you who are in Tucson, please join us at the NADA booth at the convention center on October 23rd. We'll be there 9 to 3 doing NADA protocols and giving out season beads. So please help us spread NADA. Thank you.
Wonderful. Nobi, thank you so much.